So today we are going to be learning how to create characters in Dragonbane, and we are going to be playing through the solo scenario that comes with the base set that is called Alone in Deepfall Breach. I guess for us it'll be Together in Deepfall Breach because this is going to be a co-op campaign.
We've never done Dragonbane. I don't know much about Dragonbane, but I'm excited.
Yeah, so Dragonbane is a pretty simple system. The kind of main mechanic is each of your skills is going to have a number from 3 to 18. And you're going to be rolling a D20 whenever you try to attempt something difficult, and your goal is to roll below that number. So in this game, you want to roll low. Getting a 1 is called rolling a dragon. That means it is a critical hit. Rolling a 20 is called a demon, which is very bad.
All right, so I'll just retweak my brain so that low is good.
You ready to start character creation?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and fill out player, Sean.
So, do you have any idea of what type of character you want to play?
I have absolutely no idea.
Do you want to know a little bit about this adventure at all?
Yeah, sure.
We are going to be investigating Deepfall Breach, which is some like large labyrinthian style dungeon that is ruled by some kind of demon, I think. But we get in there just taking shelter from the rain, and then we decide to investigate it. So our motivations will kind of be up to us. While we're there, we're going to be meeting a character named Engulfir Stonegaze. And he is some famous guy who is who knows a lot about Deepfall Breach. He's going to send us on like missions and stuff. And he's a wolfkin.
Okay. So
the old noggin.
So what's the first step here?
The first step is going to be to pick your kin. Now this game only has a few kin. You've got human, halfling, dwarf, elf, mallard, and wolfkin.
Now it's going to be tough for me not to play dwarf because I like dwarves.
You can play a dwarf if you want. Now I am eyeing up a miniature to base my character around.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That I will probably be 3D printing.
Oh, okay. So what are you thinking for your kin?
I'm thinking a halfling. A halfling who wants to seek glory.
What would pair well with a halfling?
We could both be halflings.
Yeah, maybe what I was thinking.
That could be kind of interesting.
There needs to be some kind of dichotomy between us, you know, like a back and forth we can have. Like
maybe your character could be like someone who just wants to stay safe, is a little bit more weary about going on these adventures.
Okay. And their ability is Hard to Catch, which costs 3 willpower points. You can activate this ability when dodging an attack,
getting a boon to the evade roll.
So this game has the kind of 5th edition D&D mechanic advantage and disadvantage.
Yes.
So
and they're called boons and banes.
A boon is you roll 2d20 and take the lowest.
Yeah, there you go.
A bane is you roll 2d20 and take the highest.
Exactly.
See, I'm getting it already.
You are getting it. Now here's another thing about this game, which is kind of interesting. Whenever we go into combat, we're going to go into initiative, and we're going to draw cards from 1 to 10. That card is your action. So once you've taken your turn, you'll flip your card over. But if you want to try to block an attack or dodge out of the way of an attack, you'll lose your action. But you'll be able to potentially avoid all of the damage. And in this game, our health is low. So we want to try to avoid as many hits as possible. In this game, 1 or 2 hits could kill you.
Okay, that's cool. All right, I like the idea of us being halflings.
Okay, you want to do halflings?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to write halfling on our kin. And what we'll also want to do is go ahead and write our ability under abilities and spells. Now what I like to do is kind of write a little abbreviation of the ability. So what I wrote here is Hard to Catch, willpower points. I just wrote WP3, and then I wrote boon on evade. So that I kind of know at a quick glance what that does. And what I'm going to do is probably for my next ability, I'm going to skip a line and write it beneath that as well. Now the good thing about this game is you can just keep scrolling down until you get to the next part of character creation. So for us, it's going to be profession. So there's 10 professions. Mostly they just give you a starting ability.
And this is like your class.
So the professions we can choose from are artisan, bard, fighter, hunter, knight, mage, mariner, or mariner, merchant, scholar, and thief. Anything pop out at you immediately?
I'm not sure yet.
I think I'm going to do a mage.
Okay, I'm thinking about a bard.
Looking at musician, what does it do?
Your beautiful voice instills courage in your friends or fear in your foes. So within 10 meters, I can give all allies a boon to all rolls. Or I can also give a bane to all enemies. Is that worth it with just 2 of us, though?
Could be interesting though. I mean, of halflings, you know, song is kind of, I feel like, important to them.
Because you said you're going to be like a adventurer type. Like you want to adventure.
Very much got a lot of adventure in his heart.
So I could be the one that you're dragging along.
Right.
You know, I think that's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Which would mean I don't necessarily want to play like a fighter type. I think I probably am like in the bard a little bit more.
Okay.
I don't know how.
I say take it.
I don't know how good that's going to be, but I've always been a fan of the bard, so that's what I'm going to go with. Halfling bard.
I like it. I'm going to do a mentalist mage. So our profession is going to tell us a few things. First of all, it's going to give you a key attribute. That doesn't do anything mechanically. It just tells you you'll probably want to make that attribute high. It's also going to give you a few skills that you can choose from. Now, from that list, you can pick 6 skills. And when you pick a skill, you're going to go ahead and mark the box next to it under your skills. So one of mine is going to be mentalism, and that's a secondary skill. So I'm going to write mentalism here. Next, you're going to get your heroic ability, which you'll write on your abilities and spells. For me, since I'm a mage, I don't get a heroic ability. Instead, I get to pick 3 magic tricks, and I get to pick 3 rank 1 spells for the mentalist.
That's going to take a minute.
So the magic tricks only cost 1 willpower to cast, but they automatically succeed. You don't have to roll for them to succeed. Other spells, you have to roll against your magic school to see if they'll succeed or not. Okay, so the spells I picked for my tricks, I picked Slow Fall, Lock, Unlock, and Open Close. For my rank 1 spells, I picked the Longstrider, Power Fist, and Stone Skin. Now it's time to pick our attributes. So in this game, they recommend that you roll. You roll 4d6, drop the lowest, and you do that 6 times to get your different attributes. We're just going to take static stats here. So we're going to do 16, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8.
Maybe I should have my charisma not my highest. You know, because it's only 1 skill I'm really going to be using it for.
Yeah.
My agility has
and
a few more.
You can level that skill up as we play.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to do agility as my highest. Put that 16 in there. Maybe I'll regret that.
Interesting.
I don't know. We'll see. And then my charisma is going to be 14. So then I'm going to have constitution be my next. With 13.
Okay.
So intelligence will be 12. Willpower will be 10. And I am a weak boy. 8 will be strength.
Okay.
There we go.
I think I'm going to put my 16 into strength.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Frick.
And then I'm going to put my 14 into intelligence, a 13 in agility. I'm going to put a 12 in con. And then I'll put the 10 in will and the 8 in charisma.
So you're really a fighting type.
My spells are only going to empower my strikes. So we've got our attributes assigned. Now we're going to get some derived ratings. You're going to get a base movement based on what your kin is, and then you're going to modify it based on what your agility is. So you have 12 movement.
I'm a fast man.
My agility is a 13, so I'm going to have 10 movement. Then we're going to get our damage bonus, and this is for strength and agility.
So what does this give us? Like, what is this? Can you explain this?
This is a bonus die that you roll on any strength or agility-based attacks.
So my strength is 8, so that's going to be nothing. I don't have any bonus.
Correct.
My agility is 16, which means I get an extra D4 bonus.
Yep.
So I roll a D4 whenever I have a damage based on agility.
Correct. My strength damage bonus is going to... I have a 16, so it's going to be a D4. My agility is a 13, so it is also going to be a D4. Our hit points is equal to your constitution score.
That's easy.
For me, it's 12.
It's 13 for me.
And finally, our willpower points is equal to our will score.
Okay, minus 10.
Minus 10 as well.
So now we're going to fill in the numbers for the skills.
We're going to fill in the numbers for the skills based on what our attributes are. Each of the skills has an attribute assigned to them. And you can see that next to the skill. For example, acrobatics, you see next to it, it has AGL, which stands for agility. So based on what your agility score is, you're going to get a base chance. Now, if you have it marked, meaning you're trained in that skill, you're going to double the base chance.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
We'll put this in time lapse because this is going to take a minute.
This is going to take a minute. Okay, so now's probably a good time to explain how leveling up works. So in this game, anytime you roll a demon or a dragon, which is either a 1 or a 20 on any of your skills, you're going to mark that skill. And then at the end of the session, or for us, at the end of our mission, we're going to roll to see if those stats can be increased. And you're going to do that by, whichever ones you have bubbled in, you're going to roll a d20 and you have to get higher than that number. If you get higher, it increases by 1.
Higher than the number? So it's the opposite.
Yep.
So it's harder to raise skills that you're better at.
Exactly.
Oh, crap.
Now, if any skill ever reaches an 18, you automatically get a heroic ability. You also get a heroic ability if you do something particularly heroic or interesting. In this particular solo campaign, we can once we do something heroic, we can get 1 heroic ability each. Now we're going to each pick a weakness.
Weakness.
So you can either roll a d20 to determine one randomly, or you can kind of choose one.
And these are just for roleplay.
If you give in to them, you can potentially mark another skill to level it up as well.
Okay, I'm seeing some that I like.
I like foolhardy.
Because I was thinking of faint-hearted.
Oh, that's funny if we take those two. Those kind of fit nicely together. You want to do those?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take foolhardy. I always go first into danger. And there's a slot at the top of your sheet to write this.
And I'm going to pick faint-hearted. I always stay at the back of the group.
So your encumbrance limit is equal to half your strength score, rounded up. So for example, I have a 16 strength, so my encumbrance would be 8. Now you'll see below your inventory you have numbers. Each item you have takes up a slot. You can only hold up to your encumbrance limit. Certain items stack, like food. You can carry up to 4 food rations in 1 slot. Each of your weapons and any of your armor also doesn't take up a slot. You can hold 3 weapons no matter what, and a shield also takes up a weapon slot. And you can have 1 piece of armor and 1 helmet, and that doesn't take up an encumbrance slot as well. So that's kind of how encumbrance works. We could do encumbrance if you want.
I mean, we can. I'm not closed off to the idea.
Okay, sure. I guess we should go ahead and pick our gear then. So you can pick one of the different slots there under gear.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the first slot for the bard, which gives me a lyre, which is a musical instrument, a knife, an oil lamp oil for the oil lamp, flint and tinder, a D6 of food rations, and a D8 of silver.
All right, I'm going to pick the first option for mage, which gives me a staff, an orbiculum, a grimoire, a torch, flint and tinder, a D6 food rations, and a D8 silver.
So for food rations, I have 5 food rations.
Very nice.
And I have for silver, 5 silver.
For silver, I have 8.
Darn, boy, you rich. Where'd you get that money? You stole that from my bag, didn't you?
I didn't want to know. Food rations, I've got 1.
Well, you're going to have to pay for my food rations.
I might have sold the rations too.
Not thinking with your mind.
I rarely do.
All right, how do we get me a backpack?
There is a town we can go in between missions to buy some stuff if we want. We get a memento, so you can either roll on it or pick something. I'm going to take the ornate key.
Okay.
19.
A griffin feather. Why would that be important to him? You know, I'll take it. I got some ideas.
All right. That came to you pretty quick, huh? Frick. Now, do we want to come up with our names?
Okay, we can come up with our names. Other than that, that we're done.
Other than that, we're done with our characters.
You know, I like the name Griffin.
Oh, yeah?
The griffin feather.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny. I like Griffin. Mort.
Mort is funny.
Mort Bundlewood.
Bundlewood.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that, for a halfling.
Okay, Griffin.
Mort Greenfield.
That's pretty classic. Griffin Bundle.
Wood.
Griffin Bundlewood.
That's pretty good.
All right, we'll go with that. All right, so we've got Griffin Bundlewood, halfling bard, who's faint-hearted.
And Mort Greenfield, a halfling mage, who is foolhardy.
So stay tuned for the adventure to come between the two halflings. Welcome to our Dragonbane adventure.
The perilous depths of the breach plummet leagues into the foundations of the Misty Vale. My character's name is Mort. Well, think about it this way. If we do survive, which chances are there, we could make a big name for ourselves in the world.
My character is Griffin Bundlewood.
We are not fighters. We are halflings. That means we stay in our homes where it's safe. All right. When we get back to the surface, we can go back home. I don't want to fight no devilish creatures. You sure? I can start casting my magics. I'm not watching my footing, and I step off into the side and some rocks tumble down.
And we hear some flapping wings up above.
I'm thinking I can run towards you, grab you, and jump off this cliff. Deepfall Breach? Sounds like a dangerous and thrilling adventure. I'm excited for this one. This one's going to be fun, I think.
I'm excited about doing this system. I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
If you want to see us playing another game, a different game,
We have our full playthrough of Ironsworn, which is up on our channel right now, and you can check out.
That's 11 episodes. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.